like to call to order the Hatfield Township Board of Commissioners regular meeting for June 26, 2019. Roll call.
President Zipfel.
Here.
Vice President Hughes.
Here.
Commissioner Andrus.
Here.
Commissioner Rogers.
Here.
Commissioner Thomas.
Here.
I would ask if Ken Amy, our Township Planner, would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this evening.
I, of the United States.
All recognition from us, Ken, just for... That's right. Thank you for doing that. All right, is there a motion for approval of tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
Commissioner Rogers.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Thomas. All in favor of approving the agenda that's before you, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, we can move forward with that agenda. Consent items. Is there a motion to move the consent items into the record? Motion by Commissioner Thomas, second by Commissioner Andrus. Those items include the Board of Commissioners' regular meeting minutes of May 22, the Board of Commissioners' workshop meeting minutes of June 12, the Treasurer's report for the month of May, and the bills payable. Paid bills in the amount of $249,634.42, and unpaid bills in the amount of $398,457.34. With that, I'll call the question. All in favor of moving those items into the record, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, those are moved into the record. Citizens' comments. Any citizens' comments on agenda items only? All right, we have a handful of action items tonight, and that's actually the sum total of our meeting. So we're going to start with our first one, which is Resolution 19-09. Is there a motion for approval? By Commissioner Andrus.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rogers. Ken, do you have this one?
Go.
I'm just confused here. Aaron, 1909 is the one that was
That was
pulled.
tabled again. Yeah,
Correct.
we were just notified by the applicant yesterday that they
Oh.
like that one to be tabled. Same way it was tabled last month.
Okay, so we have
moving that one on, yeah.
four action items.
We're down to number 2, yes.
They-
All right, do we need, Krista, do we need a motion to close that out, or just?
We have a waiver. There are multiple property owners that need to sign the resolution. They haven't been able to get them all together in 60 days, so
Oh,
we're going to try
Skip
again.
it. Just skip it.
okay. All right, then we're going to move on to Resolution 19-11. Is there a motion for approval? Motion by Commissioner Rogers,
Second.
second by Commissioner Thomas. Now, Ken, do you have this one, I think?
Yes, thank you. Montella's Crossing is the new project on Walnut Street. It sits almost directly opposite Sal Mascarella's Montella's Crossing 4, which is right across the street. He's proposing 2 retail spaces and a transmission shop. All the approvals have been granted by the Zoning Hearing Board, and recommendations have been granted by the Planning Commission. We discussed it 2 weeks ago, and we have a signed resolution in the office now, which will be executed this evening. So we are all ready to go if the board is ready.
All right, questions or comments? Our solicitor's nodding her head, so she is ready to move forward. And any questions from residents or commissioners? All right, seeing none, then I'll call the question. All in favor of Resolution 19-11, say aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Resolution 19-12, is there a motion for approval with regard to the BJB development, 1411 Welsh Road land development? Motion by Commissioner Rogers.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Andrus. Ken, do you have this one as well?
And yes, similarly, this is the acquisition from Spaniels that they've picked up the piece of property adjacent to them on Welsh Road. They've been, again, through the zoning hearing board process, through the planning process, and we have now a signed resolution. Mr. Spaniel is here in the audience if you have any questions, but I think it was all discussed to your satisfaction at the workshop.
All set? All right. Any questions from the applicant or anyone else? Commissioners or residents? All right. Well, we discussed it a few weeks ago. We thank you for coming back. With that, I'll call a question. All in favor of Resolution 19-12, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Thank you. Appreciate it for your coming out. Resolution 19-13, is there a motion for approval with regard to the car wash at 944 Bethlehem Pike? It's the 18-month maintenance period for public improvements. By Commissioner Thomas, second by Commissioner Rogers. Ken or
Yes.
Aaron, right? It's a
It's
housekeeping
a-
item.
And this is housekeeping. This was discussed at the workshop meeting. We have since obtained a signed resolution from Mr. Amsterdam accepting the amount of the maintenance. And we will then be executing a release of their current escrow and hold the balance that was recommended by Mr. McAdam. So if this is okay with the board, it's okay with everybody else at this point.
That? All right, questions or comments from the residents or commissioners? Hearing none, I'll call a question. All in favor of Resolution 19-13, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Our last action item for the night, is there a motion for approval with regard to the thermal imaging cameras, Hatfield Volunteer Fire Company, in the amount of $15,911? It's a budgeted item, and it's coming from the Fire Reserve Fund.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Thomas.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rogers. For those who were with us 2 weeks ago, I think, was it 2 weeks ago, or a couple of weeks ago, was it more than that? I know that this was discussed.
This has been budgeted as stated, and it's actually the only expense coming out of the reserve fund for Hatfield Fire for this year. So President of the fire company is here if you have any questions in addition about the item, but I think it stands for itself. Sure, I'd love to come up.
Staying quiet on this one, apparently. So, now, by the way, again, I know we say this hopefully enough, but probably not near enough that residents hear it. Thank you for everything that you and the entire fire company does. We greatly appreciate it. Again, it's a budgeted item and well-deserved and also needed, so this is pretty much a no-brainer. Unless there's any other questions or comments from anyone, commissioners or residents? Hearing that, I'll call the question. All in favor of approving that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved.
Commissioners, just one additional item, just as a heads up, I said that's the only expense budgeted for Hatfield from that fund. There is some expenditures for Calmer from that fund that we will probably see coming our way probably next month for some of the air packs and I think a similar type of equipment. So just so everyone is aware. And then that would be it for the year as far as equipment purchases for the fire companies.
Okay. All right, citizens' comments. Any citizens' comments on agenda items or actually non-agenda items? All right, no one's headed up to the podium, so we had a brief meeting tonight, but I do have two quick announcements. First is to announce that the board is going to meet in executive session after this meeting to discuss personnel. And then also that based on our agenda and our expectation of the agenda, the July workshop meeting is going to be canceled. We meet the second and fourth Wednesday of every month. So the second Wednesday, which is the 10th of July, so we will not have a meeting on July 10th. We will, however, have a meeting on July 24th. So please, for those of you who not only come but also watch, mark your calendars. So with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn unless there's any other questions or comments. All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Angis, second by Commissioner Thomas. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, we are adjourned. Thanks for coming out, folks.